I want to just kind of shift into the spirit module. And particularly, one of the themes that's emerged is Ken Wilber's notion that there are three faces of God or three faces of spirit. And in my dialogue with Ken, we didn't get to speak about this in as much depth as we had wanted to because we got onto other things and ran out of time. And I know this is a big part of your own work and your own emphasis, and I'd love to drill a bit deeper into these three areas, what they really mean, and what it means to be engaged in all three faces of spirit and why that's so important. So could you maybe give a little overview of that and sort of take us into the three faces of spirit as a kind of core integral practice?
The first thing that needs to be said is that we don't know anything in relation to spirit. Spirit is that which is unknowable. Existence itself is a miracle, a mystery. It's beyond any perspective we can take on it. So it's so essential that we realize that the nature of spirit and of real spiritual practice is something that breaks us beyond all perspectives. That said, we are meaning-making machines, us human beings, and we apprehend things through the fundamental perspectives that are embedded in human language, first, second, and third-person perspectives. And so the ways that we approach the mystery of being tend to fall into these three categories of first, second, and third person. And, it may be useful to think a little less abstractly and a little more concretely about how that shows up in people's lives. Third-person spirituality is something we most often encounter. Any time that we are contemplating the mystery of existence as if it were an object of our attention, where we are contemplating it in the third person, that's third-person spirituality. The most common and universal way that people engage in third-person spirituality is communing with nature, looking upon the body of spirit. It's as though God has a body that looks like a blue sky with clouds and rays of sunshine and changes in light and birds swooping and trees growing and the sounds of nature and all the rest. And that sense of contemplating the body of spirit is the most universal and essential form of third-person spirituality that is primarily sensate. We also do third-person spirituality in a more intuitive way, and that's what we're doing right now, where we essentially do philosophy, where we look at the patterns that connect our experience, and we see the hidden structures of things, and it brings us into contact with the hidden forms and patterns of reality, such that intuitively we are looking upon it, the body of spirit. And this is what people have done historically through all theology and philosophy, and even the origins of science were undertaken in this spirit by many of the very religious early philosophers and scientists of the Enlightenment.